What's good, YouTube? Reaper here, and today I'm gonna finish this stock. So right now I'm just gonna go to the front view, select all these faces all the way up, and just gonna move around this and all the way up there, and we're gonna extrude this. Alright, so we're gonna take that back down, right click, extrude. It's extruded even though it's already flat on there, so we're just gonna drag it out now, make it even, drag it out all the way down there, and we're gonna manipulate these vertices. So we're gonna grab the ones at the top, pull them down, so just push that over there, pull it back a little, pull it too far first, so right there is good. So now we're gonna get the vertices and drag them down, move it down, get those, drag it down. You don't want them to overlap because you might lose track which one is which, so you just drag them down as you go if they're gonna get overlap. Alright, so just grab this one, drag it down, all those, and right there seems to be good. So we're just gonna edit these to look good now. Drag this back a little. This one in. And all these three back. Or not three, all of those on the bottom. Don't even know what I'm thinking right now. Alright, so since we grabbed those, we're gonna go back to the faces. And first thing we want to do is get all the edges, and then we're going to delete the faces. Oops. Control Z, just manually select all of them all the way around, and two more. Alright, it's done. So we're going to scale these in first. Scale it in. That seems about right. Maybe just check the reference, and yeah, that seems about right. So now we're gonna go to faces, and then we're gonna delete those. So we're gonna deselect these faces over here that we extruded first, because we don't want to delete those. So we just deselect those and select these, delete. Let me just reply to this real quick. Just want to see that. Alright, so now we're gonna drag these out, and wait, bring it back up. Seems to be alright. So now we're gonna drag these down, and deselect those that we selected. We don't get it all mixed up, and drag that back, these down, and right there we're just gonna edit those vertices on the bottom, make it look a little bit better after, but just gonna keep extruding first after we get the shape and everything out. So right there, and now to edit the vertices, we have to move these ones, by the way, because they're not in the shape after starting up the handle, so moving them in place. You guys might not be able to see it, but there's kind of a indent right there to push out to start the handle, so that's what I'm going over. Grab these two, pull those out, grab the one on top, pull it out a little bit more, and grab those up there, pull those out, Same thing with the one on top. One's on top right there. Put those over there. And now we're gonna extrude again, but this time we're gonna make it so when we do it, it's gonna be the edges, so we can form the handle, kind of make the base part of it like pushing out from the sides. First we gotta delete the faces. Delete those, it's already selected for us. Go back to the edges and hold shift and scale. It's the same thing like I tell you with the edges. If you hold shift and drag them, creates new ones like attached to it. Same thing with the when you scale it, create new ones that are attached. So we're just gonna drag this and make it look like how the handle would be starting in shape. So I'm gonna scale this up a little so it kind of matches up the top of the body. So we push this up. It doesn't have to be pixel perfect because you're not gonna be looking at the handle of the gun when you're playing. So just make that planar in the X, rotate it. That seems good. Drag it out a little bit more. Alright, so now we're gonna shift and drag out all the way to the end and drag this down right there, and then we're gonna make it planar again. Drag that back. Wait, rotate it a little bit. Forgot that wasn't straight, and right there. Alright, so now to just edit these so they look starting to look like a handle. You guys gonna see that. Scale these out a little bit. The top wasn't getting, like, it wasn't pushing up enough. Alright, so right there. So now we just need to form those like this curved shape right there. Bring this in. This bottom is kind of curved. Alright. I'm just gonna make a little curve at the front, even though it's going off the reference, but no one's gonna see it. Like I said many times before, it's just to make it look believable. No one's gonna notice that one little part pushing out. So I'm just straightening out those two at the top. Taking the time. Going for quite a while now. Alright, so we're just gonna use shift loop, put it right there. And I hold shift, by the way, so it pushes it out because I want it to be round. That's something you guys should keep in mind if you want something to be round and you just make the basic shape, then you use a swift loop. If you're using a version of Max at like 10 and up, just gonna scale this in, but then I realize can't scale it in, it's not gonna look right, so just gonna undo that, go back to the model, go to the left view and undo that. Gonna delete these edges, delete the ones at the top. Even though you couldn't see those, I deleted those at the top. And now I'm just gonna delete some edges at the bottom. First I'm just gonna step back, as I noticed, like the bottom isn't round because I bring the shape all the way from the bottom part, so right here on the handle isn't round, it's kind of square. So I'm just gonna delete those faces at the bottom, but right there. and all the way to right there. The last part I'm gonna select and delete. So now we can just select these edges and shift drag them down, target weld. First we gotta align them so it goes with the model. Now we target weld. Actually not right now, I'm just gonna work on the handle for now. You can just pull these out. Select the ones that are currently above them. Select those. Drag those out. Alright, so we just gonna select these, pull it out too. Starting to look like the handle. Alright, so we're just gonna bridge these. Actually, because I'm gonna have to cut this in half, so I'm just gonna edit one side. Delete those top part. Another part of the part I'm gonna make for the handle side, deleted those. And I'm just gonna select one half of this and drag that in a little, and then just right click, put that to 0. And I was gonna bring it up, but then I realized I already pushed it all the way you could. So I'm just gonna pull this part back. Let's hold that, drag it, pull it back, and try best to line up the edges so they kind of form just one ring around instead of making it look kind of nasty like how you see it is right now. So I'm just gonna get these vertices and drag them up until it's kind of aligned with the line that it was supposed to be. This is like the last one that I did. Drag the other ones up. Keep going like that. And now the last one. And right there. So we're starting to make the curve. As you guys can see, it's kind of square, but we're starting to make a curve. Just gonna pull this in. And that's the start of the curve. Alright, so we're gonna align these and push things out now. So just gonna scale this out. Pull these. The handle is kind of set to an angle, so you're gonna have to rotate to select most of the stuff. You can't just go like straight up top view. So I want to pull these out. Just select those and see I got all of them, and I'll go to the top view now and push these out. And swift loop, one right there. So now we just need to adjust these so it kind of makes the shape of the handle. Push this in. It's getting there little by little. Pull these out, things like that. Select those and pull those out. And we're gonna add another swift loop right here. Pull this one in. Alright, so it's getting there. Deselect those. Right, we got all of them. Push this out because the handle is kind of flat right there, because your hand is not gonna be around it. It's gonna be your thumb, and your fingers are gonna come around the right side, which when the symmetry modifiers add to it, you're gonna see. But for right now, it's just flat. But you guys understand what I'm saying. If you guys know how to hold this gun, because the grip is like pistol grip, or the handle It's just your thumb should go around the left side and the other fingers just wrap around the right side, and your index is on the trigger. So I just drag these edges out and zero that. Now we're gonna delete half of it and add the symmetry modifier. Alright, now just notice that for some reason when I started Max, the little 4 tabs I put at the top isn't there anymore, so I'm gonna just try and add it real quick. The one I made isn't there either. I don't know what's going on, but Max is acting up right now. Just scroll down and find symmetry. Got a little bit of time to do this. And down to find the symmetry. And somewhere right here. And right there. Right, add that, and didn't get added. Alright, I'm just gonna leave that. Continue. We don't really need to do that anyways. We can show that in the next tutorial. Right now I need to add the symmetry to it, so just click on the drop down menu, type S or SY, and it will bring it to symmetry. Put that to the Z axis and it should mirror perfectly. Don't have to move anything. So now we're gonna go back to edit poly and click, wait, first take out the cage, get the edges, the vertices I mean, and select those, and we're gonna target well, make things connect. Alright, so select target well, that part to there. They're all matched up, so you don't really have to worry about anything. And there we go. So I'm just thinking whether, I think this part is kind of too thin, so I'm gonna widen it a little bit. Remember, you can scale when you're in symmetry. You gotta drag. If you scale stuff, you like break it apart. I'm probably just gonna leave it. Kinda looks worse when I push it in some reason. Just gonna put it back out right there, and that seems good. Push this out. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it. Add a swift loop right there, hold shift, and make the curve right there. So when you guys saw me started doing that and it didn't make the curve, that's what I was doing, waiting for that moment. Alright, so we're just gonna go back and finish the handle. Put all of these to 0. Select them all the way up, shift, and 0 that out. Make it planar. Now I can see it looks a little bit fat, so, and not like a handle, and bulky, like push your hand away. It doesn't look comfortable, so I'm just gonna edit this. Gonna drag these vertices in and back, like towards you, yes. And now we're gonna get the other one, add a swift loop right there first. Alright, so it's looking good so far. All we need to do now, nope, no. Alright, we need to drag the all the parts up to the body to match it. As you can see, it looks pretty good. Just gonna change the color of this to black. Once I finish in black, and once I'm working on it, I always put the blue, just so when I save and leave and I come back, even if I can't see that I was working on it, because sometimes you're working on something but other parts hide it, you know what color you put it in. So that's why I do the colors. And just gonna finish editing this. Just gonna pull that away, pull this one in the center and push it back a little. And it looks weird, so we're gonna pull it out. Yes. Now we're gonna pull this side ones in because it looks flat. So right there is good, so we're gonna pull these three in, and right there seems good. It's gonna go and look from the side because the top kind of looks deceiving. Alright, so just bringing the edges one by one. Bring that in, and yep, we're just gonna select these all around and bring that in. And it looks alright. Gotta add an edge right here later, but for now we're just gonna fix this part up. Get those two edges, bring it up, go to the left loop view again so we can match it up good. Swift loop right there. Nope, scale from the wrong side. Just need to scale this out. Change that back to view. Scale it out in a little. Right there. Maybe a little. Wait. Still, we're not gonna pay attention to it, so it kind of doesn't really matter. To make it look a little bit better though. 24 minutes in. Alright, gotta wrap this up. So just select the edges right here. Wait, deselect all of that. Just select by those two. And we're gonna drag this up. Target well. Select the vertices right there. Bring it in. Select those. Target well, not target well, just weld it. They should snap together. Shift, drag it up again. One right here. And well, doesn't seem to work. Alright, just rotate. Oh, it's that part's the part that we pushed in, so we're just gonna target weld this part. We have to do the same for the top two. Just grab the edges again, push that in first. It kind of goes with the flow. And go back to the left view, grab the edges. Pull those up. That part we gotta leave. This part we gotta pull up. Because that part, the other part on the left is gonna go somewhere else, so we're gonna have to target weld this part here. Alright, starting to all come together. Just move these in place right there. Drag these two up, kind of make the round part. Alright, things are starting to look good. Now we drag these up and target weld, not just weld those. They're on the same level almost, so you can just weld those. Alright, there's a weld, so we're just gonna take these in another direction after we're pushing these edges so they kind of go with the flow. Push these out. Alright, so we're gonna use those three right there for what we want to do. Just gonna pull this all the way down there to right there. That's where we're gonna join that. Alright, looks like it needs another edge loop. We're just gonna scale this in for now. Sorry, can't scale. Still in symmetry. Gotta just push it in. Add another edge loop right there. Alright, so we're gonna get the, see, it looks good, so we're just gonna get a swift loop. Add a loop right there. Alright, now that everything is all coming together fine, can work on joining those in the next part of the tutorial, but for now we're just gonna level these out, make it planar, then we're gonna unhide everything, nope, and adjust this to the body, because this should technically be attached to the body, and we're gonna attach it, but first we gotta get overall shape. Now we're just gonna drag those two right there, adjust those. Well, it looks pretty good right now. Next part, we're gonna delete most of those parts that we created right there, just to make those two different models join. But don't worry, everything's gonna work out. And as you can see, kind of looks like it's attached from the side, but when you go in the top view, it looks weird. Scale this in real quick before I go. Alright guys, this has been the fourth part of the tutorial. This has been Grim Reaper, and see you guys next time.